Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. My name is Helena Erskine, and I'm here to share some information with you that has been very helpful for our family and for so many other families and athletes that I know and around the world. From youth athletes all the way to professional athletes and everyone in between who does any kind of fitness program, this information applies to you. But for the purpose of the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'll be focusing on the youth athlete. A little bit about me, though. I have a master's in nursing and over 20 years caring for patients in the intensive care unit. I have a busy family with three active boys, and just like you, am hustle and bustle every single day living in today's super busy society. I've taken an interest in sports nutrition simply because I want to help my kids reach their goals in the most healthy way possible. There is a lot of misinformation out there, and these kids tend to follow what's popular, not necessarily what's healthy. I hope this information makes sense to you because the ultimate goal is the health and well being of the athletes now and into the future so they can continue to do what they love to do for as long as possible. In our family, the only thing that keeps the boys away from sports are injuries. We had a period of about 6 to 8 months or so where the orthopedics office was like a revolving door. They literally knew me by my first name. There were sprains and strains, tears and rips, foot braces, wrist braces, thumb guards, slings, you name it, we had it. Have you experienced this with your kids? Meanwhile, they're chomping at the bit to get back to the game, and they get back, and then something else happens. Totally frustrating and costly. And we're not alone here. As you can see with the data, as of 2016, over 8.6 million injuries were reported. You know there's more because not all injuries are reported. And boys tend to be the culprits. A lot of that has to do with specializing in one sport for most of the year. I mean, think back to when you were playing sports. Did you or any of your friends only play one sport all year long? Probably not. There's a huge increase in this, and it leads to greater risk of soft tissue injury and overuse injuries that are keeping orthopedic doctors and physical therapists in business. I was actually surprised to see baseball on the same list as football in this high school survey in 2015 to 2016. As you can see, sprains and strains accounted for most of the injuries reported. And in second place, we have concussions. Let me share a few points about concussions. It's shocking that well over 1 million kids have reported concussions a year. Many aren't recognized or reported at all. The American Academy of Pediatrics refers to concussions as mild traumatic brain injuries. This makes me take this very seriously. In the fall of 2016, my oldest son Sam was at bat and hit with a baseball to the side of the head, just like that picture shows there. Now, I was at work at the hospital, and my husband was coaching my youngest at another field. Sam was wearing his helmet, which is protocol, thankfully, which saved his life, and the coach did take him out of the game. And then a few hours later, I did get a call from my mother-in-law who had picked Sam up and said he really wasn't making a lot of sense and he really couldn't remember the details of what happened. At that point, I just had her bring him to the ED, and it was about 4 hours later. He still had the imprint of the helmet in his face. And so, yes, concussions happen in baseball. And yes, they can be serious as it impacted his whole first semester of his freshman year in school. If someone had told me about an antioxidant that protects the cells from impact, like a shock absorber, and could potentially reduce the aftermath of injury, I would have been very interested. If an antioxidant was available that was safe, organic, and vegan, that could turn on the body's natural defense mechanisms against inflammation, that would be a no-brainer. No pun intended. If there was an antioxidant that released hydrogen into the cells to protect the cells from the repetitive stress on joints, tendons, muscles, from pitching, catching, throwing, etc., I would definitely want to know about it. And what about an antioxidant that helps reduce downtime due to muscle soreness and fatigue, making recovery from practices and games so much faster? Sign me up. And that's exactly what I'm talking about here. Recovery with HydroFX is a safe antioxidant that releases hydrogen into the blood and works to protect, repair, and recover cellular function. Now, our sons take recovery after practices to help them recover and before games to help their muscles and joints from that repetitive stress of what they're doing on the field. I think of it as putting them in bubble wrap and protecting them from harm, meanwhile keeping them doing what they love to do the most. There's something else that helps too. Greens. Greens are good for us. This is not new news. Greens are loaded with vitamins A, C, E, D, and folic acid, and minerals like calcium and magnesium that provides a strong defense against muscle strains and tears, rips and breaks. Evidence shows that athletes who eat greens are much less likely to get injured, and if they do, they recover faster. And now let's talk about energy for a second. Have you ever been watching your team practice or play and wonder if they're even awake? I mean, they look sluggish, they're kind of slow, they're making mental mistakes. Could it be their nutrition? I mean, what did they have before the game? What are they having in the dugout? Are they having sugary treats or candy to get that boost? What about that sugary energy drink that actually puts them into a dreaded crash state just a little while later, and you're dealing with it on the field? Imagine if the kids all had their greens before the game. They might just be unstoppable. But we all know it's not that easy. There's challenges. Busy schedules make it super hard to get greens to taste good and get them into the kids. I mean, the time and cost to prepare organic, non-GMO vegetables, even if they were to eat it, most of them don't even like it. And if they don't like it, they're not going to eat it. So in our family, the green caps are the solution. They take the green caps, I'd say most days of the week, probably 5 out of 7 days of the week. I get these caps into them as they're running out the door to school before 8 a.m. All their greens are in. And I feel like score one for mom. Instead of a sugary afternoon drink, I pop them some green caps for energy. When they're getting sick, I give them some extra green caps. It's all those vitamins that they need. Before games, green caps. Seriously, at $1.15 per serving of 2 green caps, it's an easy choice. And they're raw greens in there, which means that the nutrient quality is outstanding and helpful in injury protection and energy levels. And I just want to point out that there's no gluten, no soy, no dairy, no sugar, no nuts, no nightshade, and absolutely no artificial ingredients. Lastly, I just want to mention protein because I don't know if there's anyone out there who was confused about protein and not sure if their kid needs it or maybe their kid wants it and they don't know what to choose. I was definitely confused. There's so many different brands and protein sources. There's whey, which is a dairy-based protein, and I'll get into a couple more as in the next slide. But the biggest question was, should they be having extra protein? What if they have a game or practice, every day, 6 days a week, 7 days a week? Do they really need extra protein? These were the thoughts going through my mind. So I turned to my pediatrician and did some research and reading on my own. I found that the American Academy of Pediatrics does not recommend protein supplementation for kids less than 18. So that was a good answer to my question. It's not necessary. Okay, now I know, but I do have to admit, getting a shake into the kids when we're running out the door with lots of good nutrition has been a better choice for us and keeps them going all day long. There are different types of proteins. We've been using an organic vegan protein and are really happy with the way it tastes and blends with other ingredients when making shakes and smoothies. After all, if it doesn't taste good, they won't touch it. In summary, I just want to say that our family has been using this product line for over a year. The boys have remained healthy, we've avoided many colds and viruses, and look forward to competing on the field this year. If you're interested in the products, click the Take a Look button on this page and just check it out. Below this webinar is specific information about the green caps, the recovery, and the protein for your knowledge. Also, be sure to watch the video with Dr. Cohn specifically addressing athletes. There's also another video on this page about testimonials from adults who've used the nutrition. There's tons of references. If anyone would like information on the references here, just let me know, both from websites and peer-reviewed resources as well. So I just want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate that you tuned in and listened in, and please reach out with any questions. Have a great day.